Welcome back to the Candy Lab. This is our last week full of candy fun, so let's get started.
The Sugary Secrets Behind Candy by Ellie O'Ryan, illustrated by Rob McClurkin, and read with permission from Simon Spotlight. Secret ingredients. Candy doesn't just taste good to your mouth, it looks good to your eyes. Thanks to food dye. Food dye doesn't add flavor or nutrition, it just adds color. Some food dye comes from natural sources like bugs, beets, or seaweed, but it's much easier to make artificial dyes in the laboratory. There are just 9 approved dyes for adding color to food, but that's all scientists need. Just like paint, food dyes can be mixed to make any color you can imagine. Candy colors aren't the only ingredients that come from a lab. Scientists can also make flavors. Natural flavors are often made up of hundreds of different chemicals. Wow! Usually a couple of chemicals stand out more than the rest. By figuring out which ones have the strongest flavor, scientists can make an artificial version using just a couple of chemicals. It's cheaper and easier and tastes almost identical to the real thing. Some candy has another secret ingredient that doesn't add any flavor: gelatin. It gives gummy bears their bounce and gummy worms their wiggle. Gelatin comes from collagen, a protein found in animal bones and skin. Cooking gelatin tangles up the proteins, making a jiggly treat that's fun to eat. In your mouth, Pop Rocks feel like the opposite of gummies. They're crackly and snappy, not soft and squishy. Pop Rocks start as hard candy. After the sugar syrup is heated, carbon dioxide gas is blasted into it, making lots of little bubbles. As the candy cools, carbon dioxide bubbles are trapped inside. The hard candy is broken into tiny pieces, the Pop Rocks. When you eat them, the trapped bubbles burst. The pop comes from the bubbles bursting. Carbon dioxide gas is also found in the bubbles of soda. If you drop Mentos candy into diet soda, the results are explosive. A fountain of soda will spray into the air. When carbon dioxide gas is added to water to make soda, the molecules form strong bonds. Those bonds keep the bubbles in soda. Mentos might seem smooth, but they're covered in tiny bumps. The rough, scratchy surface is just right for breaking the bonds between the carbon dioxide and the water. Mentos are also the perfect shape, size, and weight to fall through the soda and break more bonds. When that happens, the bubbles escape, breaking even more bonds and creating the fountain. Don't try this at home without an adult and an umbrella. Congratulations! You are now an official Science of Fun Stuff expert on candy. The next time you chomp on chocolate, lick a lollipop, or gobble some gummies, remember all the sweet science that went into making them.
This week we're in the jelly bean lab. Do you like jelly beans? Do you have some for Easter? Maybe you have jelly beans. We're going to use them this week to make our jelly bean structures. You can make anything you want. You can make shapes, you can make letters, you can make a building, you can make a tower, make a bridge, whatever you want. All you need this week are jelly beans. I hope you have some because it's Easter time. And toothpicks. And if you like marshmallow peeps and you have some peeps, you can use those too, just for fun. Stop by the library if you want to get a sheet that gives you suggestions on what to do. Now, one of the sheets has all kinds of challenges. Different shapes. You can make a 2D shape. Do you know what a 2D shape is? That is a flat shape. So I will show you. I will take some jelly beans. Now, you got to be careful when you're doing this because the jelly bean is kind of got a hard shell on it. So it takes a little bit to poke through. If you don't have jelly beans, you can also use marshmallows. Here's an example of a 2D shape. It's a flat shape, as you can see, and it's a triangle. So you can try out 2D shapes. What can you make? A triangle, a square, a rectangle, a diamond, a pentagon? You can keep going. Make a star. Try this out first, and then we'll try some other shapes. So I have some ideas for you. I made a cube. Look at that. And then I made a pyramid, and I can put my pyramid on top of my cube and make a building. Or I could take a marshmallow peep and make a tent for him. I also want you to see if you can build a structure that is strong. Let's see. Well, marshmallow peeps aren't heavy, but we can try out different things. See how high you can build something? Looks like a little bit of a house. See how strong you can build it? Maybe if you make a bridge. This is actually pretty strong. It's a cool shape, right? I was making a peep's nest. Now I can give him a tent. So now he has a nest. Or he has a nest with a house. Let's see what other creative things you can come up with. You can keep building shapes and adding them together to make more. So doing this is quite a challenge. I took and added another cube on top of my cube, and then I put the pyramid on top. So now I have a tall building. I can measure how high my building is, and it looks like it is about 7.5 inches. Okay, not too bad. I wonder, can you make one bigger? Think about how much weight your structure could hold. If you make a bridge or a nest, I mean, I only have a little marshmallow peep here, but he can hang out on there. See how sturdy you can make it. You have to remember to give it some support too. It is pretty tricky, but it's a lot of fun, and you can see how much you can add onto it. Think about, while you're building this, what was the most challenging part of trying to build something with jelly beans and toothpicks? How hard was it to make something that could stand up and stay up, especially if you put something on it? The taller you make it also makes it a little more wobbly. So these are fun things to think of. What would you do different? Think about that. And what things worked best for you when making this? I hope you had fun, and I'd love to see pictures of what you guys made, and I will see you next time.